First, here's some good news from DC Drano. Not having a Speaker of the House for 3 weeks has done more to stop exploding our national debt than anything else in the last 3 decades. And then here's Matt Gaetz, just with some basic news, breaking every candidate for House Speaker agreed to promptly release the J6 tapes to the public. We will hold them to it. So that's all of them. Are there any differences between these? Here's the 7 of 9 that voted to overturn the election. So Byron Donalds is in there. And the reason why this is old news is when he did not get the votes, he's since dropped out. Doesn't mean that he's out for good, just means he's out this round. And that's Tom Emmer in the lower right, who voted against going with Trump on J6. And here's some headlines. 7 of the 9 men running for House Speaker voted to overturn the 2020 election results. So this happened as of today. Rep. Tom Emmer is the new GOP Speaker nominee. Don't worry, guys, doesn't mean anything. Here's Trump destroying Tom Emmer's career, rightfully so. I have many wonderful friends wanting me to be Speaker of the House, and some are truly great warriors. Rhino Tom Emmer, who I do not know well, is not one of them. He never respected the power of a Trump endorsement or the breadth and scope of MAGA, Make America Great Again. He fought me all the way. He actually spent more time defending Ilhan Omar than he did me. He's totally out of touch with Republican voters. I believe he's now learned his lesson, because he's saying that he's pro-Trump all the way. But who can be so sure? Has he only changed because that's what it takes to win? The Republican Party cannot take that chance, because that's not where the America First voters are. Voting for a globalist rhino like Tom Emmer would be a tragic mistake, and I agree. By the way, he has the same problem as Jim Jordan. Looky here. Lawmakers estimated there may be around 20 holdouts, and Emmer can only lose 4 votes. So there's 20 members of the Freedom Caucus going against him, Emmer, and he can only lose 4 votes. That's just like Jim Jordan could only lose a tiny handful of votes. And so the Republicans are going to have to be united. But I think at the first vote for Tom Emmer, it will show that Jim Jordan got more votes than him. And that can put Jim Jordan back in the running. I still think the top 2 most popular guys to get the most votes, this is just a practical matter of who's possibly going to win. I think the only 2 guys that are closest to the win is Jim Jordan and Kevin McCarthy. So if I had to bet, I'd say it's going to be one of those 2. Here's why I'll bet more on Jim Jordan than McCarthy. The Freedom Caucus that are holding out for Jordan and against McCarthy are less likely to compromise, because I don't think they care as much if the government gets funded and if there's funding for the Ukraine war. So the rhinos are more likely, or the majority of Republicans and the traditionalists are more likely to want to make that concession. Hey, all it's going to cost you is a Jim Jordan vote. That's the good news. Thank you for joining me right here on Doug in Exile.